Hello and welcome to the JTrain podcast. This is JTrain, Jared Freid, coming to you live from Delray Beach, Florida. That's right, every Wednesday is a Chit Chat Wednesday where I sit with a friend, a comedian, an expert. Today, we have an expert, very exciting, an expert in the horrors of dating, and I'm so pumped to have them on. They are the host of the podcast Crime of the Heart, but they have a new book that is out. I think it's out right now. If this as at the time, it'll be in the episode description. You can go buy the book or do the wait list, but it's coming out October 1st. So I want to make sure you know that so that you can pre-order or post-order. But you know, we're close enough to the pre-order that you're going to get it when you would have gotten it anyways. So the link is in the description. The book is called A Final Girl's Guide to the Horrors of Dating. Rory Uphold, thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. That was a nice intro.
Of course. It's great to have you. I've been on your podcast.
You have, and people love you.
Oh, that's way too kind. I had a great time. Yours is like, explain your podcast because it kind of goes in with the horrors of dating kind of theme, right?
A little bit, yeah. I mean, I think that one of the things that like inspired me is that so many people have these horror stories, but we're just kind of supposed to get over it. Like you could date someone. This might not be like the best parallel, but you could date someone for 5 years. They could cheat on you and break your heart and waste your time. And there's really nothing you can do about it. But if I key your car, that's a misdemeanor.
Right.
I don't know. One seems worse to me.
Right.
And you're just supposed to kind of like get over it. And if you can't get over it, then people are like, what's wrong with him?
Right. And it's also, and then, you know, to go back at that a little bit, you go, it takes two to tango. Like, and I'm not, there's it's a tough conversation to have because I don't want to like doubt the victim in a real like horrific, crime sense that someone's being like, we have to acknowledge, right, that like someone could be in a relationship for 4 years where they're dealing with abuse and really horrible things. But then there's like this not abuse area that in the fun that we're dealing in for the most part on this podcast, where it's like, yeah, you were dating someone, you went back to them and they wasted your time, but did you ask the questions that you should have been asking? Did you believe them when they weren't, someone to believe? You know what I mean? Like, and you go, so do you get to like it almost makes it seem like we should have like a Judge Judy for dating that can like adjudicate on these things, that can be like, you owe her $10,000, right?
Isn't that you though? Isn't that you?
Is it me that I could be the judge? I would.
Isn't that kind of you?
I would love that job, that I just preside over relationships. They go, we were engaged and then they broke off the engagement and they said or we were dating for 2 years and they said, I plan on getting engaged this summer. And then summer came and they said they're not ready. So we dated another year and then they broke up with me. Like that person might deserve financial compensation of a certain kind. Like you said, do you know what I mean?
Yes. I fully do. And I think what's so funny about that, and I love your take, is that my book is kind of what you're talking about, in that it's a lot of me going through all of the horrors, like all of the monsters, all of the horrific situations, and then looking at it and being like, okay, but where do I take accountability? Like, how did I perpetuate this? Because at the end of the day, like, if you keep getting back together, you also betrayed yourself. Part of the reason why it hurts so bad is that you kept getting back together with the person that treated you shitty.
Right. They are your comfort thing that is bad for you, you keep going, you're not dealing with the baggage to unpack. You're not looking at yourself in the mirror to fix the issue, to get away from them. That's a part of it. Yeah. And that's a more interesting book, I think, right? Like, I mean,
I hope so.
So the book, so let's talk about it. Why is it called A Final Girl's Guide to the Horrors of Dating?
Okay. Do you know much about horror?
No.
Oh, okay. So in horror movies, the trope of a final girl is like it's a horror movie trope that
Okay.
in most horror movies there is a girl that survives. Like Jamie Lee Curtis in Halloween, Nev Campbell in
Right.
Scream. That's the final girl. She's the last
And
one
she's
standing, the last one to confront the killer, the one who lives to tell the tale. So the parallel that I made, which there's like a nice double entendre because technically like when you get married, you're the last girl standing, but also I feel like I've lived through and survived all of the dating horrors and lived to tell the tale. But then I feel like I've collected enough advice to be like, you know, you don't have to do it the way that I did it. Like, and I did fuck up. So there's like things that I ignored. There's a lot of like self-confidence things. Like, I think a lot of times people get into trouble in dating because there's, you know, maybe some self-worth issues or things like that. And boy,
some would
you
say
know,
that's the whole game is confidence, like that, where you how you see yourself and the people
yeah.
you choose as a result of that. Yeah, that's like the whole thing. So was that
Yeah.
so I just wrote a book myself, not to make your book about me, but
I'm excited about that. Yeah.
thank you. I wrote it and it was hard. Was this hard to go
Bro.
back and look at these stories?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yes. Because some of them some of them are pretty dark. Like, I did get into an abusive relationship.
Okay.
Not funny, not a highlight, very embarrassing, not something that like I would normally want to share with somebody because it makes me feel pathetic. And, you know, like I was not raised that way. I was raised by really great parents who gave me a lot of tools, and I'm kind of an independent, mouthy woman. Like you just I'm not the stereotype of what you would think about that. And yet it happened to me. And I had to take a really close look at like, how did that happen? And why did that happen? And what did that look like? And how many warning signs were there? And when I was getting love bombed, like it's just all of it. And
Right.
yeah, to go back and be like, not only is this so sad, like I was so sad for that version of myself. Like I couldn't believe that I let myself ever be in that position.
Well,
And
I
that's the
mean,
only reason I wrote about it. Yeah,
right. I
because
mean, you're going to help
I
people
truly was
and,
like,
you're going to help someone who feels that way about themselves. I can't tell you how to feel. I'm sorry you went through that. Like but I can understand all those emotions that come with that. Right. Like
totally
like yeah. And I didn't think it would be me. Like, that's
the
one of
worst.
those things you go, I think anyone can relate to that with all things in their life. That, wow, I'm not, I'm not even that, and I'm sure you're going to help a lot of people when they read your book.
I also like talked a lot about sex and like my sexual journey. And again, I did it because like I came from I came from a medical household that I consider to be like sex positive. And even I like had turned over my sexual agency, and like I didn't use condoms for a really long time because I didn't want to be like a buzzkill. Just like things that were, again, like making myself smaller, trying to be like more palatable.
Right.
Whereas like now that's not a thing. But it is kind of embarrassing. It's embarrassing to think like, oh my God, people I know can read this. Like,
Oh, I
like,
listen, I think it's going to be great. And I'm sure you're going to I don't know. I don't think embarrassment will be well, I can't tell you. I just think I know that you're going to get people going, oh my God, I had the same feelings, the same thoughts. And you're going to feel like, great, like it's going to feel nice to not be alone in that. I think that's why people buy a book, to hear stories like this and go, wow, I'm
yeah.
not a crazy
Wait,
person,
so for you, what
Yeah.
was, I mean, there's the sheer volume of it, right? Like a book is like, 4 stand-up specials, right? Like it's insane.
It's a lot.
But outside of that,
It's work that I don't like doing too. It's homework, and I've never been good at homework. And summer reading, I've never been good at summer reading. It's all that. It's like stand up is like show up at the party and be, a fun person. Yeah, sing, dance, and dust. This is shut your door and be alone and get no
Validation, no feedback,
Yeah,
no
no
nothing,
yeah,
no
nothing.
chuckles. You like write a joke that you think is
Nothing.
great, and it's just like fucking crickets.
Now I can wait 2 years to find out if someone liked it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's it's hard, and the personal stories were really hard for me to like. Even my personal stories weren't as these were like a dating fun stories, but it was like unpacking like what did happen with that person and why didn't it work out, and having the ability to look back at it now as more mature. I'm not a mature person, but more mature than I was. And you go, oh, and you're like, you can see, like, I'm sure you did this too, where you see like my life could have gone that way,
Yeah. Yeah.
and you're like, man, I missed that off ramp. And some of those off ramps are pretty good. You have to like kind of like live with that. You go, yeah, I gave up a good. That was a gas station I could have filled up at.
Yeah. Yeah.
I guess I'll hope there's another one coming down the highway. There's a lot of that. Like
100%. Yeah.
I don't know
So
how
I
you
think we had a similar experience. I think like
Yeah.
the connective tissue between those moments too is also, it makes you just go like, oh man, I got some work to do. Or like, like I hope I figure this out, like.
Well, I did. When you talk about embarrassment, my embarrassment when I was writing the book, I'm like, you're not over this shit yet? Like, it's not over? Like, I'm still talking about this? I'm a fucking loser, Like,
You're
I'm
not.
40. I'm still talking. Yeah, well, I'm just like, that's how I felt. Like, writing this, I'm like, I mean, like this person, like I'm like telling a story about someone who has like a family and kids living in the suburbs. And I'm like, and you know what? Texting isn't that bad. Texting dynamic is important. It's like, shut the fuck up, Jared. Like.
I
So
relate to that. I totally know what you mean, where you're just like, motherfucker. Good God.
what am I talking about? I'm old, so we are sponsored by Hero Bread. If you've been dreaming about pasta but don't want to derail your health goals, you need to try Hero Noodles. With more protein and 60% fewer calories than other brands, you can afford to have a second helping. I love any food that allows me to eat more while being efficient calorie-wise, and that's what Hero Bread does. Hero Bread has been making all the breads we love, and for less calories and more fiber, so they keep you fuller longer. Now they're doing that with pasta. Hero Noodles. Hero Noodles and I guess noodles, pasta. I would ask for pasta, but Hero Noodles, I get it. Okay, listen. This is all to say, I love that they're extending the brand, and you can have more pasta than you would have had with just regular fuddy-duddy pasta. So, and all their stuff is delicious, tastes just as good as anything else you'd have, just with less calories, more fiber, and all the good stuff. Hero makes every mealtime a breeze with products that consistently pack in the protein without packing on the pounds. They've got bagels with 17 to 19 grams of protein, sliced bread, tortillas, and even croissants that won't kill your diet. I love what they're doing. This is so me. You'd honestly never know it's low net carb and high fiber from the texture. It's soft, fluffy. It's delicious, just like you want it to be. Hero Bread is a huge favorite for good reason. Keep an eye out for their delicious small batch drops and get on the wait list for any best sellers. Hero Bread is offering 10% off your order. Go to hero.co, use code JTrain at checkout. That's JTrain at HERO.co. We are sponsored by Omaha Steaks. Want to be the hero of Friendsgiving this year? Do some grilling this season and do it with the best meat possible, Omaha Steaks. But they're not just top of the line steaks anymore, okay? Listen, I read their ad. They could write it better, but I'll say it better than they could ever write it. They're not just doing top-of-the-line steaks. Also, juicy burgers, chicken wings, giant deli-style franks. Let me say something about these franks. Absolutely delicious. Better than any you've ever had. They are unbelievable. They are the type of franks that people go, where did these hot dogs come from? Because they know their meats. Every steak is perfectly aged to maximize tenderness and hand cut by master butchers. It doesn't get better than that. I'm going to tell you right now. I got the Omaha Steaks package sent to my parents' house. They haven't stopped talking about it. It is one of those things that it also the variety, just so much good stuff that your parents are going to go, what? What are we going to do? Oh my God, we're going to have to grill. You start planning events. This is the type of gift that someone starts planning their life events with it. Oh, we're going to have people over. We're going to do things. It inspires people. Yeah, I just said the word inspire about steaks. I really do believe what I'm saying. Get the Omaha Steaks, and we're going to give you free money. With 5 generations of uncompromising quality, Omaha Steaks has been America's original butcher since 1917. Save big with Omaha Steaks. Visit omahasteaks.com for 50, yes, you heard me, 50% off site-wide and an extra 20% off select favorites during their early Black Friday sale. And for an extra $35 off, use promo code JTrain at checkout. Terms apply. See site for details. That's 50% off at omahasteaks.com. Promo code JTrain at checkout. So you're in LA. So I will say, I think women have, I mean, this isn't even a hot take. Women have way more horrific stories than men do in the dating world.
I think so, yeah. But I also think, this is my hot take, I think women were groomed to be chosen instead of being taught how to choose. And so a lot of our issues stem from the fact that we're constantly trying to be chosen. And then if we aren't, even if it's not our fault, it gets internalized in a way that can then get perpetuated. Now, I think ghosting has happened, like ghosting kind of goes both ways. And so that is affecting both people, but it just in general, like a broad statement. And at least for me, like I would really internalize a lot of the things that happened to me and look at it as evidence that like, oh, if I was better, if I was more lovable, if I wasn't so replaceable.
It's like a report card of a certain kind. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, are you dating now? Are you seeing anyone? What's the deal? What's going on with you?
I'm legally single.
Legally, okay. How does that work?
Well, I'm unmarried.
You went. Well, you were married.
No. I just mean I'm still legally single, but
in the eyes of the government, you're legally single, but you're seeing someone.
Yeah.
How does that going? How did you meet? What's the deal?
We met at a party in real life.
Love it.
Yeah. Met at a party in real life.
I'm talking about this a lot recently. The in real life, that's truly a miracle. Like you go, even to go to a party.
I got the last chopper at a NAM. Yeah, it feels like.
Well, you go to a party, like to get out of the house is a lot. Like, I gotta go out, I gotta go drive, I gotta go meet my friends, I gotta get showered, I gotta put on makeup, I gotta do the whole thing. Then you get there, and there's no one there other than your friends. There's no expectation. Then you get there, and you meet someone who you have to be attracted to, who's also single, who says the right things and doesn't turn you off. Like that whole thing is like pretty amazing.
Yeah. So I'll call him Matt just because like, I don't know. He didn't sign up for this, so I don't, yeah. Sure. But
how long have you been dating?
Wait, hold on. Sorry, I need to do some quick math. Coming up on a sizable amount.
This guy's really private, huh? You haven't worked this out with you have more than a year?
No, less than a year. We met in March of this year, but we didn't start dating. We went on one date and then we didn't start like dating for a minute. But it's kind of like what you said. I'm the worst where I love being invited to the party. Love not going to said party.
Got it.
You know what I mean? I'm like, ooh.
I feel like you would be, and this is my assumption from following you on social media over the years now, that you'd be at a cool LA party. Like, I feel like you'd be at a party that would be cool. I feel like based on who we have in common as far as like Instagram is concerned. And these are the assumptions everyone's making about everyone. When you see like who are our friends in common, who are the people, I'm like,
We do
I
have
bet
cool
you're at a cool
mutuals.
party. We have cool mutual friends. So I would assume you're at a party with a who's who group of people that this guy, is kind of like being now as a part of a referral base that you would be excited about.
Yes, that is accurate. Everything you said is accurate. I had 2 parties to go to that night. So it was 2 birthday parties, and I go to the first party, I show up late. They've rented out a vintage bowling alley in Los Angeles. Well, in Highland Park.
I knew you were cool. I knew you were cool.
And there's, wait, oh my God, who's the photographer that shoots all of the comics? Oh God, they were the photographer. Anyway, like it was a very, it's a very cool crowd, yes. And I see this guy. Well, and I'm talking to my friend Sophia, and this other girl Sophie, and this girl Tara Schuster, who you probably know, who is also an author. And I'm like chit-chatting with these girls, and I see this guy, and I was like, that guy's hot. Just in my mind, he's hot. And I'm shooting the shit with my friends, and then we need to leave to go to this other party, and we all decide we're going to go together. And I see that Tara's talking to this guy, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to go say goodbye to her. And so I go to say goodbye to her, and then I look at him, and I'm like, well, goodbye. We didn't get to meet though. And he was like, oh yeah. And we had like a quick little exchange, and I felt the vibe, and I was like, okay, I think this guy's single. But when the photos came out for the party, I screenshot one of the photos of him, and I sent it to one of the hosts, and I said, what's the deal with this guy? And she goes, oh my God.
It's the deal. Love it.
What's the deal with this guy? She goes, oh my God, he's single. And you guys have the same you have the same dark sense of humor. You guys would love each other. I said, say less. I went to Instagram, I followed him, and yeah, that's how this happened.
Love it.
And then it took a minute. I wouldn't say he is like the most savvy on the internet, but he and I have the same kind of brain rot. Like, he's chronically online. He's just not a chronically online poster, which is like great. I don't care about that, because he is more on the executive side as opposed to like talent facing.
Well, let me make this, if anyone's looking for dating inspiration, I think this is like a great story, because and if anyone's tired of the apps and all these things that we can speak negatively about for days and hours and days. You went to a party where you trusted the clientele. You went to a place where IDs metaphorically were checked at the door. That you couldn't go to this party unless you knew someone who you already had respect for. This guy is talking to your friend. You said Tara. I don't know them, but talking to them, and you're going, wow, they can hold a conversation with that person. This is the power of in real life that I can't even believe I'm explaining right now, because you would think we don't have to explain it, but you kind of do. So I talk a lot about this like friend luck. I think people should have a party where the cost of entry is one friend.
I love that.
And they don't have to be single. They don't have to be, people get caught up in the particulars. Don't get caught up in the particulars. I didn't say single. I didn't say married. Bring one friend, because now everyone at that party who's cool and at a abandoned bowling alley in LA, and I mean, you're going up to him, you're saying the line that would be said in 500 Days of Summer. Like, to go up to him and go, I haven't met you, but I gotta go, is like out of a rom-com. That's a meet cute.
Totally. I thought so.
Yeah, I think so too. So I mean, this is all like wonderful. So from that, you guys are dating, and it's going well so far. That's like great to hear.
Yeah, I think, he's like a real adult where I can just be like, hey, I'd love to can we work on this, or how are you feeling about this? It's good. I mean, I will also say, if it doesn't work out.
That's you learning from, dating. Like, fuck him. He doesn't, you're bringing those things up because you can now.
1,000%.
I'm the same, right.
1,000%. And what I would say is, if it doesn't work out, I'll be fine. I know I'll be fine.
Always.
You know what I mean? Like
Oh,
I'm not going to sit in something or like bite my tongue because I'm afraid that this thing that feels good might go away or whatever. Like, no.
well, maybe that's the problem with the apps. Like I always think of this like brain thing of like how we view things just because we're human. Like yesterday's podcast, ticked off Tuesdays where people complain. And there was someone that wrote in about tipping and about how when they get a draft beer, they leave $1. And I was like, yeah, to me, leaving $1 on a draft beer is fine if you're paying in cash. But if you put it on a card and your tab was $10, I would leave $2.
Same.
It wouldn't be just a draft beer anymore. Do you know what I mean? And both those things don't make sense, but that is just brain work shit.
Yep.
I think with the dating apps, because it's so hard to get off the app and it's so hard to get someone to like, leave the casino, which is what they are, leave the slot machine.
100%.
Then you become precious with these people, whereas you went to a party and said one thing to a guy, kind of.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't work out, you can have that happen again. Like, I think that's wonderful.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure. And you know what? To kind of further what you've been saying to your audience, the couple's the people who had the birthday party, they're a married couple. Mm-hmm. I went to a dinner party pre-pandemic. This agent used to throw dinner parties where he would just invite couples or random people. We would all sit at dinner. We would all meet each other. I met the wife who was really into skincare. I'm really into skincare. And I was like, you're going to be my friend. Yeah. You don't have a choice. I'm going to make that happen. Right. And I really pursued that relationship. And in turn, I know her husband and we like weirdly have like so many mutual, I guess that's not weird. We have a lot of mutual friends, both of us. And, if I was like single focused on only like meeting singles or whatever, like a married couple wouldn't necessarily be the people that I would pursue or that I would hang out with. But I followed what was like genuine to me, which is, oh, cool. She has really common interests. Like she's funny. I like her. Right. And then I get invited to this party where there's all these people. And then I meet somebody that I'm dating. And I think like, that's how you should do it. Like, don't go to just because, I think there's going to be single people here. I should do that. Like go to where you actually want to spend your time or where the person that you want to date spends their time.
I totally, it's the hardest advice to give or take. It's like, like it is, hey, when you start doing stand-up, go to the open mics and work on material and the rest will come is like really hard to like believe in. Mm-hmm. And it's the same thing of like, yeah, go meet really sophisticated, fun people that you enjoy and that you have a similar interest with, and they will be around other people you'll end up calling your husband or your wife. Like that is like really, that's Mr. Miyagi shit. That's like, wax on, wax off. Oh my God, I know how to do karate now. It's very similar to that, and it's hard. And I not to bring it back to, the book, but I have a whole
bring it
thing
back. We both have books.
But we both have books, but you have a real book. I have a hypothetical book that is coming at some point, but I will say
no, you have a real book. You wrote it. It's real.
It's coming, but it's, we do have a whole thing on hanging with your married friends and how important that is and how your friend's husband is gonna make it happen for you.
100%.
That means you have to be cool with your friend's husband. But Rory's book, Rory Uphold, go follow on all the socials. Could Be Blonder is on Instagram, and also the book is called The Final Girl's Guide to the Horrors of Dating. Link in the description to go buy it right away. I want to read it. I want to hear all the stories. Okay, we're gonna play a game. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
I created a game, and it's called Horror or Heroic.
Ooh. I thought you were going to say horror or whore.
No. I try to
I was like, sick.
keep this
I'm
as,
so into this game.
yeah. So is she a whore? You know, what kind of a horrible person would I be? Horror or heroic? Okay. So all these scenarios are bad situations. You're on a date, a bad situation comes up because bad things do happen.
Yeah.
The person you're on a date with handles it a certain way. Did they choose a horror way to go about it? Was their way they went about it a horror or were they heroic?
Okay, cool.
Okay? You're on a date. The guy you're with catches eyes with a woman. He says, "Oh my God, I used to date that person. I need to say hello." He gets up from the table. He goes over to the woman. They chit-chat for a couple minutes. He then brings her over and introduces you to her as his date for the night. Was he heroic or is this a horror situation?
It's definitely not a horror situation because I feel like whatever, like it's the threshold is not way bigger. But
Right.
part of me just goes, you didn't need to tell me. You could just be like, this is a friend of mine. Like, why would you just, you don't need to, I don't need to know that you were dating him. But I will say the bringing it back to be like, this is my date, that buys you a lot of credibility.
Right. That's why I find it heroic.
Yeah.
I'm like,
yes.
because he basically, there were choices to make and he made the most difficult choice. Because it starts with the choice of, do I even go up to an ex in a restaurant? He does that.
Wait.
He bites the bullet.
Hold on. Would
Okay.
you consider someone you dated an ex?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I think all people I dated are exes.
Okay.
I think that's like a very, I think women would be way better off if they just called everyone an ex. That's like my opinion, because then at least it gives it credibility, and instead of this like, oh, we were nothing, like you feel like nothing. I think like, yeah, it's an ex. You were dating. It was someone I used to see. Like
Yeah. I do
there's
that
nothing
too.
wrong with that. There's nothing embarrassing of it. You know, like I think we get a little too precious with that and it makes us feel bad. There's no reason to feel bad about it.
I do that too. I just ask because people will ask me. And so like, I also think like I have a billion exes because I've been on a billion dates. It's not like they're like an ex, like a boyfriend, but like I do like to clarify because people do the same thing with me. Yeah.
No, I'm with you. I think you get into it when someone's like an ex. Well, how long did you? Then I would say, well, we went on 3 dates and, you know, like made out a couple times, you know, like then you explain it. And then, but I think if you start at giving it the credibility of like, this is someone that like I spent hours with, you know, like
or somebody I've maybe seen naked, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, this isn't just a homie.
This is or a whore, as we almost got into. That is the game. Surprise. No. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So
I think they're comfortable with saying heroic. Heroic. Yeah.
Yeah. Because if the choice between horror or heroic,
for sure.
They went to their ex. They admitted they're an ex. They bring them over to say, no one's hiding anything. Imagine you two become like a couple forever. Like, I don't know. I think they were vulnerable at every turn. That's my...
Yeah, I did have a boyfriend where that kind of happened. We met when we were both, so I did the Sundance Labs and he photographed them. And at that time we were both in relationships and we really hit it off, not in a disrespectful way, like in a, you know how you just like meet people and you vibe with them. Like we had an energy, we would like on our breaks, we would like chit chat over lunch and it was like great. But like he never crossed the line. I never crossed the line. So by the time we ended up dating years down in the future, I already trusted him. Like I already knew that this was a guy that was like respectful and trustworthy in the same sort of way.
Yeah, it's a stand-up move. Like, okay, ready? We'll do a couple more.
Yeah.
You're on a date with a guy. He has diarrhea. Okay?
Sorry, I'm already laughing.
They go to the bathroom once, and it's just, hey, I got to go to the bathroom. Then they go, 10 minutes later, they go, I'm sorry, I have to go to the bathroom again. So now it's becoming clear there's something going on. They're going to go a third time. And as they're about to get up, they say, Rory, I've had a really good time, but I have diarrhea and I'm going to be going to the bathroom all night. I think we should end this date.
That's heroic. That's crazy.
Heroic.
That's wild, because who the fuck would use that as a lie? Like, at first off, I'd be like, is he into cocaine? Like, what is happening?
Sure.
But then to turn and like make solid adult eye contact with me and be like, I have diarrhea. I have to go.
I have diarrhea. Yeah, that is
handle that. Handle that.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm with you. Okay. You're on a date with a guy. Check comes. They say, do you have tap? To the waitress. The waitress says, no, we don't have tap. He says, listen, I only brought my phone. I didn't bring a wallet. Get me this time, and I'll take you on a really nice date next time.
Horror. Who doesn't bring a wallet to a date? That's crazy town.
Right.
I also think it's so weird to only be a tap payer.
We're not there yet as a society. And you know that. We know that. Everyone knows that. We haven't gotten there yet. And I really don't like, I'll get you next time with an even better date. I hate that. That's like such a horror to me.
Well, because then I'm like, do you have Venmo?
Right. Let's just even up now.
Yeah.
And then we'll do the next date when the next date happens.
Listen.
Yeah. I don't need promises made to me by a stranger.
100%. Like, I can pay for the date. That's not a problem. Like, in that situation, I know what I would do. I would just be like, it's all good. I would cover it. And then I would feel a certain way about it. Because, like, I would be like, was this planned? Like, what was the deal? Like, I would need to see, like, a level of sincerity and performance that was authentic in order to believe that it wasn't planned.
You bring up a great point, and there's nothing that rings authentic when someone says, we're going to go out again, and it's going to be the best date ever. It's going to be so much more expensive than this one. This won't even
matter.
Yeah. You'd be like, oh, cool.
Also, like, really wasn't, like, I don't know. I'm not of the mind where I walk into dates, like, trying to see how expensive things are. Like, if a guy takes me on a nice date, like, cool. But that doesn't matter. Like, you can't take me to a 5-star restaurant and then be kind of a douche. Like, and me be like, well, he did take me to wherever.
When you say the next one's going to be so nice, it assumes that you do care about that, and it's kind of insulting if you think about it.
I think so.
All right, let's do one more. Okay. Mm-hmm. You said you talk about sex in the book and sexual things, so this will be a little sexual, okay? You're making out back at your place. You ask if they have a condom. They say they do. And you start to get even hotter and heavier than you were before. Things are escalating, and you start to undress. And as you're disrobing, they whisper in your ear, Poppy got too excited. And you go, what? And they go, I climaxed in my pants. Sorry. And then they proceed to cuddle you for an hour.
Whoa. There's a lot to unpack there.
Okay.
So the real truth is that's a horror, but part of me wants to say, it was heroic that they were honest. I mean, I guess I don't know how they were going to fake it.
Right.
Okay. I think that it's a horror because of how it was said and handled, and there's some like weird things happening there. I will say that I used to be the type of person where sex was like a bullseye. If we didn't hit it like on the first try, I was like, well, we're doomed. That's it. And if like a guy can't like make me feel like pleasurable and I don't come, then like I'm never going to come. And so like I'm on to the next one. Now I'm not at that place. Like, not having great sex right out of the gate doesn't mean anything to me. Like, I'm like, this can be worked on, especially like if a guy hasn't dated anybody in a long time, like maybe they come too quickly or maybe whatever. Mm-hmm. I've seen that change. We've figured out rhythms. It's been great. Like really gone from like super mid to maybe like not even good to like some of the best sex I've ever had. So I feel confident in that. I think the Poppy whatever would send me.
Poppy got excited.
Poppy got excited would send
Poppy
me
got
to
too
an
excited.
institution. I'm like, so
I'm
we
with
named
you.
our dick. Okay.
Yeah, you can't personify your penis. And I'm with you where, you know, this sex can get better and will get better, especially if you like each other. Like that's going to happen. He could have handled it a different way. That's the horror, is how he handled it. Not that it happened.
100%.
You know, he could have said, I got to go to the bathroom. Hey, I'm feeling a little sick. I think being too comfortable with someone when you're not ready to be that comfortable, like that to me, if you whisper, Poppy got a little too excited, we haven't been dating long enough to establish who Poppy is, what excited means. I need a little bit of, you need a little bit of mystery as, you go to the bathroom, you go, oh crap, okay, how am I going to play this? That's like a show of respect for the person and where you guys are at, So
you go back and you're like, I'm going to go down on you or whatever the fuck. Or if maybe she's like into being fingered, whatever it is, like, let's do this. Let's fool around. And then because like I've been in this situation where this has happened, not like it's happened to me. And guys are just like, hey, oh, you might like this. Not you specifically. I just mean as a story. I dated this one guy once who was like, I come really quick. Like, he's like, I'm going to go down on you. He's like, because I know I come really quick and it won't be fun for you. And I was like, whoa, okay. He just was like, put it all out on the table and basically was like, yeah, it's like every guy in my family. Like, we just come really fast.
Every guy in my family, how do you get to that information?
I don't know. I didn't ask a follow-up before.
Right.
But
hey, what are you thankful for this year? Dad?
An extra 3 seconds.
I'm up to 3 pumps. Like, how do you know that about the men in your family? It's an old tale.
A quick tale. An old quick tale. But like,
yes,
and look,
the Clemens family is known for 2 things.
Clementines and coming fast.
Coming quickly. That's what we do. We come quickly. But we go down on women. We do 2 things in this family.
Yeah. Look, we didn't end up. It wasn't really a fit, but I was like, wow, I really respect the fact that he just like kind of was so honest about it. So there wasn't going to be that awkward dance of, oh, we're done.
Apologies. And
none of that.
Happened.
Yeah.
This is, listen, to say, we've all been there is an understatement. That's just how it goes. This is like the trials and tribulations of, romance and sex and physical stuff. So I agree with the horror part isn't that it happened. It's how it's being taken care of.
Also the hour cuddle. Am I
thing.
cuddling
like,
you to make you feel better?
Yeah. Like, why? Don't be so comfy cozy here. Have a little shame. Yeah, I gotta rock you back to bed. So
I'm like, what are we doing here? This feels like a little mommy play. Like, I don't think I'm into that.
Rory Uphold, thank you for coming on the show. It's so fantastic. We want everyone to go buy the book, A Final Girl's Guide to Dating. A Final Girl's Guide to the Horrors of Dating. The podcast is Crime of the Heart. Go listen. Go buy the book. The description of this episode has the link. Go follow Rory, Could Be Blonder, on Instagram. We will be back next week. Boom.
Wait, I have a code for your listeners.
Oh, code. Hold on. We have a code. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
We're not going to be back next week. Go. Say it right now, please. Okay. We'll keep this in. Keep this in.
If you're listening to the podcast and you want to buy the book, you can go to thehorrorsofdating.com. And when you go to checkout, put JTrain15 and you can get 15% off.
Look at that. Free money. Yeah. So JTrain15 during checkout, thehorrorsofdating.com. Go. It'll be in the description of this episode at the bottom. We'll put the promo code in there as well. So we won't make this the big reveal. So we'll be back next week. Boom.